All right. Green Man here with the goods. Remember, guys, the future is only a second away.
1.5 billion people are currently in an education system that is preparing them for the jobs of yesterday by teaching the curriculum of 100 years ago. All around the world, every country is funding a public education system, teaching courses that were designed last century or even 2 centuries ago. And those courses didn't imagine the future that we're about to enter. And when we think about that, people all the time think about how can we improve school? And what they think about is how do we use technology in the classroom, but to still teach the same stuff that they learned when they were young.
The kind of things that are easiest to teach and maybe easiest to test have also become easiest to digitize, to automate. Now, the world simply no longer rewards people just for what they know. Google knows everything. It rewards people for what they can do with what they know. And state-of-the-art knowledge, of course, is always going to remain somewhat important, but success in education is no longer just about reproducing knowledge. It's about extrapolating from what we know, applying our knowledge creatively in novel setting. In fact, I think the report from the WEF captures those things really, really well. It's about, can you think like a scientist rather than, do you know a specific formula and equation? The social and emotional skills are becoming so much more important. I mean, these are the ones that complement the artificial intelligence that we created in our computers actually best, and we're weakest in developing them. So education should no longer be just about teaching people something, but about providing them with the kind of reliable compass and the navigation tools to find way.
COVID-19 is one of the biggest crises of our time. It has impacted every single one of us, shaken our social systems, and disrupted every sector of our economies. The automation of work, combined with the global recession, led workers to lose their jobs at an accelerated pace compared to previous years. And this trend is expected to continue. The ongoing shift in the division of labor between humans, machines, and algorithms might displace 85 million jobs worldwide in the next 5 years, while 97 million new roles, ones that are more adapted to this new task distribution, may emerge. By 2025, companies expect to displace roughly 6% of their total workforce. 1 in 2 workers will need reskilling, and those remaining in their current roles will need to update 40% of their skill set to adapt to the changing labor market. There is a way to collectively benefit from these challenging times. Decades of research have shown that the most valuable asset of any economy or company is its human capital. Around the globe, companies are already experiencing a shortage in relevant skills for future roles and are investing in reskilling and upskilling their workforce. By 2025, organizations say they will train over 70% of their employees to ensure they can smoothly transition into the jobs of tomorrow. These include DevOps engineers, artificial intelligence specialists, digital marketing managers, talent acquisition specialists, and customer success specialists. It will take on average between 2 weeks and 5 months for workers to pick up new skills, allowing them to move into these new roles. But data shows they won't need to have the perfect skill set to start transitioning. While 2/3 of employers expect to get a return on investment in employees' reskilling programs within just 1 year, governments will also need to step in to update and fund education and training systems and to ensure displaced workers have adequate safety nets. With purposeful leadership and collaboration, we can turn this global crisis into a unique opportunity to transition into a future of jobs that is inclusive, fair, and sustainable.
The pandemic shook reality. This was the largest change of behavior in the history of the world, and it happened very quickly.
Technology has never been as important as it is now to help the world emerge from this global disruption.
Transforming business digitally is also to think about how society can benefit. Digital transformation needs collaboration.
The new infrastructure development ought to be, how can people get 80% of their healthcare at home? How do we bring together the fourth industrial revolution and traditional healthcare or traditional transport or traditional energy?
It's not just the big companies, but also your SMEs and micro enterprises that must digitalize. There must be deliberate public policy to ensure that the digitalization of our economy and our society is an inclusive one.
Enterprises and small companies can scale up and down what they need in terms of digital technologies or infrastructure or cloud services.
Being able to really use data to make agile decisions can create value in terms of governance, in terms of making smart policies.
In order to understand new customer behaviors and sentiments, you need to be able to access data and analyze it quickly. What we're investing in are assets and accelerators, being able to digitize analysis so that you know quickly how to move to the cloud.
We generate data at a pace we haven't seen before, but we're only using less than 10% of that data. technologies like AI and machine learning are very important to harness the power of that data.
While 2020 does begin the decade for the delivery of the promise of technology, it also must be the decade of shared success, with a comprehensive look around privacy, around stakeholders from employees to the planet to our communities will be critical.
Going digital can play an important role in the Great Reset. Digital platforms make sure information is shared more efficiently and more quickly. We all need to rely on each other.
We need to think about this as an opportunity to improve not just the business, but the communities as a whole and make this a more equitable world for everyone.